Y'all, this just in. Mendeecees just dropped a bombshell that's about to shake up the entire love and hip-hop universe. Y'all remember how we thought Kirk and Kendra were out here playing the perfect couple act? Well, think again, because behind closed doors, it looks like they've been hiding some seriously messy hotel room secrets. And Mendeecees is out here spilling all the tea. But hold up, how did Mendeecees even get involved in this? And why is he suddenly exposing Kirk and Kendra's private business like he's hosting a whole Netflix docuseries on their drama? Is this revenge, a power move, or is he just telling the truth? Because let's be real, Kirk ain't exactly known for being the most faithful husband. And Kendra, sis, got some skeletons in her closet too. And let me tell you, what happened in that hotel room was wilder than any reality TV storyline y'all have ever seen. Stay tuned, because this expose is about to leave you shocked, confused, and maybe even a little disgusted. Alright, y'all strap in, because what I'm about to spill is about to turn Atlanta upside down. You think you've seen love and hip-hop drama before? Think again, because when Mendeecees let this little secret slip, he didn't just spill tea, he drowned the whole city in it. Kirk and Kendra. Oh baby, they thought they were moving in silence. But guess what? Silence got receipts. And when those receipts start rolling in, ain't nobody safe. Now let's get into it. Why is Mendeecees of all people the one putting Kirk and Kendra on blast? Where did this man get his hands on the kind of info that could ruin marriages, careers, and reputations all at once? And most importantly, what exactly happened in that hotel room that got people whispering in every corner of Atlanta? Now, if y'all remember, Kendra built her whole brand on being this classy professional lawyer type, a woman who doesn't play about her man and certainly ain't about that side chick life. But honey, the moment Mendeecees dropped this bomb, folks started connecting the dots real quick. And let's talk about Kirk because, well, this man's reputation is already hanging by a thread. Let's not forget how he had a whole baby on Rashida, how his business meetings always seem to end with somebody crying, and how he got caught up in more cheating scandals than we can even count at this point. So when the rumors first started swirling that Kirk and Kendra were seen sneaking into a luxury hotel together, people were side-eyeing it hard. But they weren't exactly shocked. But here's where it gets real. See, Mendeecees wasn't just hearing rumors like the rest of us. Nina, this man actually saw some things with his own eyes. So check this out. Mendeecees was staying at a very well-known ATL hotel, the kind where celebs go when they don't want to be seen, but somehow always end up getting caught anyway. Now, he wasn't thinking nothing of it at first, but then he noticed Kirk walking into the lobby, looking around like he was doing a whole Mission Impossible scene. You know that let me make sure my wife ain't lurking walk. Yeah, that one. And guess who comes strolling in a few minutes later? Miss Kendra Robinson herself alone. No assistants, no legal meetings, just her and a very suspicious energy. Now look, maybe we could chalk it up to coincidence. Maybe they just happened to book the same hotel. Maybe pigs fly too, but I ain't never seen it happen. And y'all, just when Mendeecees was about to let it go, something weird happened. A hotel staff member walked past and whispered to another worker, "They're back again." Excuse me, back again. So Mendeecees, being the nosy king that he is, decided to stick around a little longer. And baby, that patience paid off. About 20 minutes later, a bellhop rolled a cart full of champagne and chocolate-covered strawberries to the VIP penthouse suite. Now let me ask y'all something. What kind of business meeting needs champagne and strawberries at 11:45 p.m.? I'll wait. And look, at this point, Mendeecees was like, ain't no way Kendra is involved in some messy cheating scandal with Kirk of all people. So just to test the waters, he hit up Kirk with a casual "what you want, bro?" text. And y'all, the way Kirk lied with his whole chest, baby, Kirk texted back immediately, talking about, "I'm chilling at the crib." The audacity. Because at that exact moment, Kirk was literally walking into the elevator with a "do not disturb" sign in his hand. And guess who walked in right after? You already know who. Ms. I'm a loyal wife, Kendra Robinson. So at this point, Mendeecees was like, all right, let me really find out. He decides to check Kendra's Instagram story because you'll know people who be lying always slip up on social media. And guess what? At the very moment Kirk was supposedly at home, Kendra was posting a throwback selfie talking about long day, finally relaxing. Phew, the streets started whispering. And then, just when we thought it couldn't get worse, somebody from inside the hotel came forward with a juicy piece of information. Apparently, security footage exists. Yes, footage. Sources claim there's camera evidence showing Kirk and Kendra walking into the same penthouse suite at exactly 2:07 a.m. And brace yourselves because this next part is unreal. The hotel employee swears on everything that when Kirk left the next morning, he was wearing a whole different outfit than the one he came in with. Why are you changing clothes, Kirk? Now look, we ain't saying it's 100% confirmed that something went down in that hotel room, but we are saying if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and books a penthouse suite under an alias, it sure ain't no business meeting. And you'll know the internet don't play when it comes to connecting the dots, because as soon as this story hit the blogs, somebody dug up a very interesting credit card charge. Apparently, multiple transactions were made to that same hotel under a suspicious name linked to Kendra's assistant. Now, why would Kendra's assistant be booking penthouse suites at the same place Kirk was sneaking into? I'll let y'all do the math. And here's the thing, when people cheat, they always get sloppy. Guess who accidentally dials the wrong number the next morning? Kendra. And the person who picked up heard a man's voice in the background. And it sure wasn't JC's. Phew, Mendeecees knew this was about to get messy. So if you thought this was bad, wait till you hear what happens next. Because in part 2, we're diving even deeper into the scandal, including what Rashida had to say when she found out, the anonymous tipster who exposed what really happened in that room, and the receipts that might just end Kirk's entire marriage. Oh, y'all ain't ready. Buckle up because what I'm about to tell y'all next is going to have the whole Love and Hip Hop cast shook. So boom, Mendeecees already had way too much evidence in his hands, but what happens next? Oh baby, it takes the drama to a whole new level. Because while Mendeecees is out here putting the pieces together, word gets back to Rashida. And when I tell you that woman snapped, listen, Rashida ain't new to Kirk's bulls, ***. She's been dealing with this man's nonsense for years. But this was different. Because if Kirk is creeping with Kendra, a whole married woman, a whole lawyer, a whole Love and Hip Hop castmate, that's not just cheating. That's straight up betrayal. Now, let's talk about how Rashida found out. See, it wasn't just Mendeecees who was watching Kirk move funny. Somebody else was watching too. And this mystery person, they had receipts. So imagine this. Rashida is at home, minding her business, scrolling through her phone, and suddenly, she gets an anonymous DM. Inside is a screenshot of the hotel's guest list. And guess what name was on there? Kirk Frost. And right under his, a booking under Kendra's assistant's name, y'all. At this point, Rashida's blood is boiling. She immediately calls Kirk like, "What's this I'm hearing about you sneaking into a hotel?" And Kirk does what Kirk does best, lie. Man says, "Who told you that? People just making stuff up. You really gonna believe a random message over your own husband? I was there for business." Business, sir? What kind of business requires you to be in a penthouse at 2 a.m. with a married woman? So now Rashida is like, bet. Because baby, when a woman stops asking questions and starts moving in silence, it's over. She decides she's going to pull up to the hotel herself. So boom, Rashida with 2 of her girls hops in her car and drives straight to that hotel. And what happens next? Foo baby, this is where things get wild. As soon as Rashida steps foot in the lobby, she spots Kendra's assistant looking nervous as hell. Now, Rashida don't play no games. She walks straight up to her and goes, "Where's Kirk?" And this assistant starts fumbling her words immediately, talking about, I don't know. I'm just here to, lies. All lies. But before Rashida can press any further, her phone dings. And when she looks down, it's another message from that anonymous tipster. And this time, it's a video. And this video was the nail in the coffin. Because when Rashida hit play, what did she see? Footage of Kirk leaving the penthouse suite at 6:42 a.m. wearing the same hoodie he was spotted in the night before, but a whole different pair of pants. Excuse me, why are you changing clothes, Kirk? At this point, Rashida sees red. She storms up to the front desk, slams her purse down, and says, "I need to know what room my husband just walked out of." And the hotel worker is like, "Ma'am, we can't disclose that information." But baby, Rashida was not taking no for an answer. So she pulls out her phone, dials Kirk right then and there, and puts him on speaker. "Kirk, where you at?" And this bold-lying man says, "I just left the gym." "The gym? Sir, the only thing you were working out last night was a damn alibi." At this point, Rashida don't even need to hear another word. She hangs up, turns to the front desk, and says, "I don't need y'all to tell me nothing. I already know what it is." And she walks out. Now, let's check in on Kendra real quick. Because while Kirk is over here fumbling his lies, Kendra's at home acting like everything is sweet. But what Kendra didn't know was that the streets were already talking. And honey, it didn't take long before the blogs got hold of this mess. Because the moment Mendeecees' story started circulating, people started sending in their own receipts. And one of the juiciest pieces of tea. Apparently, Kendra's own homegirl was the one who exposed her. This woman, who we'll call Miss X, was supposed to be Kendra's friend. But baby, she knew way too much. And when she found out that the drama was already out in the open, she was like, "Oh well, let me go ahead and spill the rest of it." So she sends a DM to a major blog saying, "I love Kendra." But she's been sneaking around with Kirk. This ain't the first time. Wait, what? You mean to tell me this wasn't even a one-time thing? Foo baby. Because now it's all starting to make sense. Why Kirk and Kendra looked too comfortable around each other. Why they kept showing up to the same business events. Why Kendra was always so defensive anytime Jock brought up loyalty. Because sis was hiding something. And now the whole world knew. But this story ain't over yet. Because guess who finally caught wind of everything? Lil Scrappy. And when I tell you Scrappy was not having it, because let's not forget, Scrappy's been side-eyeing Kirk. And the moment he heard that his own castmates were out here moving like this, he was ready to pull up. So y'all better sit tight, because in part 3, it's about to go down. We're talking phone calls, confrontations, and a bombshell confession that nobody saw coming. Y'all ain't ready. And just like that, the whole city knew. Kirk and Kendra exposed, Rashida furious, Lil Scrappy ready to throw hands. And baby, this was just the beginning. So let's get into it. The second Lil Scrappy heard about Kirk and Kendra creeping around, it was up. Because listen, Scrappy don't play about his people. And after everything Kirk done put Rashida through, Scrappy was like, "Ain't no way we letting this slide." So boom, Scrappy pulls up to the Frost Bistro, Kirk's own restaurant. And when he walks in, the whole room gets quiet because baby, they already knew what was about to go down. Scrappy walks straight up to Kirk like, "Ayo, you got something you want to tell me." And Kirk, this man tries to play dumb. "What are you talking about, Scrap?" "Sir, you know exactly what he's talking about." Scrappy steps closer and goes, "Man, stop playing. You out here creeping with Kendra." And the look on Kirk's face said it all. He was caught, but instead of admitting it, he just shakes his head and goes, "Man, you'll believe anything. That's crazy." Crazy, sir. The only crazy thing here is how he's still lying. But just when it seemed like Scrappy was about to really turn up on Kirk, boom, guess who walks in? Kendra. And baby, it got real. Because Scrappy turns his attention straight to her. "Yo, you got something to say? 'Cause your name all up in this mess too." And Kendra is standing there frozen. She ain't got no words. Because listen, you can lie to your man, you can lie to your friends. But when you're standing in front of people who know the truth, that guilt hits different. And guess who else walks in? Jock. Who, baby? Now this was about to be a scene, because let's not forget, Kendra is Jock's wife. And the moment he sees his wife standing there looking guilty, he loses it. Man, what the hell is this? And Kendra, she panics. She turns to Jock trying to explain. Baby, it's not what it looks like. I swear. Girl, stop. It's exactly what it looks like. Jock ain't even trying to hear it. He just laughs and says, so all that I'm a royal wife talk was cap, huh? Y'all, Jock was embarrassed. And let's be real, he even suspected something was off. But having the whole city know your wife been creeping, that's a different level of disrespect. Now while Jock is standing there processing all this, Rashida walks in. And baby, she did not come to play. She marches straight up to Kirk and goes, so this is what we doing now. This what my marriage it is? And Kirk, this man just sighs like he tired. Tired? Sir? Rashida's the one who should be tired. Tired of your lies. Tired of your nonsense. Tired of you making her look like a damn fool. But yo, it gets worse. Because at this point, everybody in that room is looking at Kendra. And guess what this woman does? She starts crying, talking about, I didn't mean for it to happen. It was a mistake. A mistake? Ma'am, a mistake is sending the wrong text. A mistake is forgetting your keys. A whole affair is not a mistake. And the worst part, Jock ain't buying it. He just shakes his head and says, man, he was out here making me look stupid. Yo, the room was silent. Because when a man stops yelling and just starts talking real calm, that's when you know it's over. And Jock? He was done. But before he could even walk away, Kendra drops a bombshell. She wipes her tears and says, well, since we telling the truth, you wasn't faithful either. Wait, hold on. Pause. Excuse me? Jock turns around like, what? And Kendra just folds her arms and says, yeah, let's not act like you was some perfect husband. I know about them other women, y'all. The whole room gasped. Because what? And yo, he walks right out the door. And just like that, the whole love and hip-hop universe changed forever. Jock and Kendra on thin ice, Kirk and Rashida barely holding on, Scrappy completely washing his hands of all this drama. The craziest part, ain't nobody seen Kendra since. She went ghost. No IG posts, no interviews, nothing. Because baby, after getting exposed like that, you can't just show up like everything's normal. But y'all, this is love and hip-hop. Ain't no way this is the last we'll hear about this mess. Because if there's one thing about the streets, they always talk. So trust me, there's still more to this story. And when the next bomb drops, I'll be right here to tell you all about it. Stay tuned, cause baby, this ain't over. And that's just the beginning. What do y'all think about this whole scandal? Is Kendra really guilty, or was Jock playing his own game too? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more insane updates like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because here you'll always get the real tea, no filter. See y'all in the next one.